Namaskar to everyone. Only two more chapters are remaining. We have come to the 17th chapter, which is a small one, but a beautiful one. The name of the chapter is Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. And starts with a question by Arjuna. One of the beautiful questions which Arjuna has asked to Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. I think we can start. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha Ata Tap Saptadashodhyayah Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga Arjuna Vacha Yashastra Vidimutsujya Yajante Shraddhayanvita Tesham Nishtatu Ka Krishna Sattva Rajastamaha. I consider this as one of the beautiful questions which Arjuna asked to Krishna. A man has not read any Shastras, but has a wonderful behavior, a wonderful way of living. By himself he has learned. Good to all, not thinking any evil to any of the living beings. What about that man who doesn't know Shastra and lives a good life? A beautiful question. Many of us are like that. Many of the living beings are like that. They don't know what is said in Bhagavad Gita, what is said in other religions of theirs. But they are still good people. The question concerns them. A Shastra Vidhi Murchitya. A man who doesn't know what is the Shastra Vidhi. Yajante Shraddhayanvita. But lives a beautiful Shraddha, life with Shraddha. How to consider that man? Tesham Nityatu Ka Krishna Sattva Rajastamaha. Krishna, what is he to be called? Is he a Sattvic or a Rajasic or a Tamasic? Tell me about that man who doesn't know anything about the religious way of living, but still lives a beautiful life. Is he a Sattvic or a Rajasic or a Tamasic is the beautiful question asked by Arjuna to Krishna, which Krishna has to answer. I think we can begin. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Ata Saptadashodhyayah.
Ata Saptadashodhyayah.
Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogaha.
Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yogaha.
Arjuna Vacha.
Arjuna Vacha.
Ye Shastra Vidhi Mutsujya.
Ye Shastra Vidimutsrujya.
Yajante Shraddhayanvitaha.
Yajante Shraddhayanvitaha.
Tesham Nishtatu Ka Krishna.
Tesham Nishtatu Ka Krishna.
Sattva Rajastamaha.
Sattva Rajastamaha.
Ye Shastra Vidhi Mutsujya.
Ye Shastra Vidimutsrujya.
Yajante Shraddhayanvitaha.
Yajante Shraddhayanvitaha.
Tesham Nishtatu Ka Krishna.
Tesham Nishtatu Ka Krishna.
Sattva Rajastamaha.
Sattva Rajastamaha.
And Krishna has to answer the question asked by Arjuna. And always answers are straight, not going roundabout. Trivida Bhagavan Vacha. Trivida Bhavati Shraddha Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja. By nature, Swabhavaja is by nature, a man will be born with three Shraddhas. Trivida Bhavati Shraddha. Shraddha is of three vida. Remember, we studied the chapter 14th. There it was Gunatraya. Sattva-guna, Rajoguna and Tamoguna. And 17th chapter is Shraddha Traya. Sattvika Shraddha, Rajasa Shraddha and Tamasa Shraddha. That is to say, 17th chapter is a continuation of the 14th chapter. There, Sattva, Raja, Tama are three gunas. Here, Shraddha is also Sattvika Shraddha, Rajasa Shraddha, and Tamasa Shraddha. Trivida Bhavati Shraddha, Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja. By nature, there will be three ways of Shraddha in a man. Sattviki, Rajasi, Chaiva. First one is Sattviki, Rajasi, Tamasi, Cheti, Tanshunu. And then the Tamasa, let me tell you about it. Let me tell you in detail about what is Sattvika Shraddha, what is Rajasa Shraddha, what is Tamasa Shraddha. And every man has got these three Shraddhas in him. So he begins explaining the Shraddha, which could be Sattvika, Rajasa and Tamasa. I think we can recite. Shri Bhagavan Vacha
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Trivida Bhavati Shraddha
Trivida Bhavati Shraddha
Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja
Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja
Sattviki Rajasi Chaiva
Satviki Rajasi Chaiva
Tamasi Cheti Tan Shunu
Tamasi Cheti Tam Shrunu
Trivida Bhavati Shraddha
Trivida Bhavati Shraddha
Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja
Dehinam Sa Swabhavaja
Sattviki Rajasi Chaiva
Satviki Rajasi Chaiva
Tamasi Cheti Tan Shunu.
Tamasi Cheti Tam Shrunu.
And continuing, he says, Sattvanurupa Sarvasya Shraddha Bhavati Bharata. Every man will be behaving according to his inner gunas. Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Shraddhamayo ayam purusha yo yachraddha sayeva saha. So you have to consider according to what Shraddha he has been behaving. From that you can gauge what the man is. That is, Shraddha and the behavior are related. Shraddhamayo ayam purushaha. Whichever Shraddha this man has, that man is that one. If he has a lot of Sattvika Shraddha, he is a Sattvika. If he has Rajasa, he is Rajasa. If he is Tamasa, he is Tamasic Shraddha man. So, that is, from birth we have, in 14th chapter I told, we are all mixture of three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. It has come to us through the genes also, it has come to us by birth also. And in the 6th chapter we knew we have been posted to which that family as children where we deserve to be born. It's not a mistake. They never ask you which life you are going to, whom you are going to born in your next life. There is no choice. We will be born in that place which suits us according to our karma. That he has said all earlier itself. So he says, Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha Bhavati Bharata. Arjuna, Bharata is Arjuna. Arjuna, you have to decide which Shraddha he has got in him. That Shraddha will make what type of man he is. Therefore, he could be Sattvika Shraddha dominant, Rajasa dominant, or Tamasa dominant. That is the simple truth Krishna has been telling to Arjuna and to us. I think we can recite. Sattvanurupa sarvasya
Sattvanurupa Sarvasya
Shraddha Bhavati Bharata
Shraddha Bhavati Bharata
Shraddhamayo Ayam Purushaha
Shraddha Mayo Ayam Purushaha
Yo Yachraddhasya Eva Saha
Yo Yat Shraddhasya Eva Saha
Sattvanurupa Sarvasya
Sattvanurupa sarvasya
श्रद्धा भवति भारत
Shraddha bhavati bharata
श्रद्धामयो अयं पुरुषः
Shraddhamayo ayam purushaha
यो यच्छ्रद्धः स एव सः.
Yo yat shraddhasa eva saha.
So whatever Shraddha he has got, the man is to be assessed by the Shraddha that he has got. And continuing, Krishna says, Yajante sattvika devan yaksharakshansi rajasaha pretan bhuta ganasya yajante tamasa janaha. A beautiful example given. Yajante sattvika devan. Sattvikas worship gods, the highest. Yaksharakshansi Rajasa. Rajasas worship Yakshas and Rakshasas. They want result. They are always result oriented workers. If I do this, this must come. Therefore, they worship Yakshas and Rajasas. That is what Krishna says. Preta Bhuta Ganansya Yajante Tamasa Janaha. This can be seen in South Canara very interestingly. There are bhutas in every village, and there is what is called a gana, that the bhuta comes on the man's man and he will predict certain things. So there is preta bhuta ganasya ne jante tamasa jana. Tamasas worship bhutas and pretas, and pretas are those unsatisfied dead people will be coming in the form of pretas. That is what we believe. Tamasa people worship them. Ijante Sattvika Devan. Sattvika people worship Devas. Yaksharakshansi Rajasa. Rajasas worship Yakshas and Rakshasas. Pretan Bhutaganasya Ejante Tamasa Jana. Tamasas worship Pretas and Bhutas. They think they will get whatever they want from these Bhutas and Pretas. I have an interesting experience. When I was in Shimoga, I was going to a place called Kudli, where Tungabhadra river joins. There are two monasteries. One is Advaitic and one is Dvait. Doesn't matter. I had an opportunity of teaching that Swamiji some basics of the English language. I went there for a week. I used to go by bus. But the bus doesn't go to Kudli, the place where the monastery was. It will stop away from the place 2 kilometers away. There we would have to go by an auto which will be ready there. Paid autos. And I observed people from Bangalore and Mysore city people used to come to that village with their suitcases and so on. We would get into the auto after getting down from the bus and reach there. I was thinking these people have come to see either one of these two mutts, the Advaita Mutt or the Dvaita. My place was the first one, the next Matta was the next place. But they would not come there at all. I was wonderstruck, where would these people go? They don't come to Advaita Matta or Dvaita Matta. What will happen to them? Then the next, second, third or fourth day I asked, where you people have been going? That's a village and village people, you know, by their dress and by their nature and by their behavior, everything you know. But these are city people I could trace. They said there is what's called a Bhutappa there, who predicts a Muslim had some Bhuta coming on him. He would predict what would happen to you. When would the man whom you have given money would pay back? When will you be able to get a site? When you will be able to get your daughter married? When you will be able to do some other things of your life? They would go there. So they would go to that one which they have in mind. There are two spiritual centers they would not go. they would go to that place where Bhuta Preta was worshipped. This is the nature of human being which Krishna is telling us. Yajante Sattvika Devan. Sattvikas worship gods. And also, they do animal sacrifice, Rajasa people. Whether it is sheep or goat or something, they sacrifice. That is Rajasa, purely Rajasa. They do it because they eat it. A Sattvika need not give anything like that. And so he says there are three types of worshipping people who worship different things. Sattvikas worship gods, Rajasas worships Rakshasas, Tamasas worship Bhutas and Pretas. Simple it is, I think we can recite. Yajante Sattvika Devan
Yajante Satvika Devan
Yaksharakshansi Rajasaha
Yaksha Rakshamsi Rajasaha
Pretan Bhuta Ganansanye
Pretan Bhuta Gananschanye
Yajante Tamasa Janaha
Yajante Tamasa Janaha
Yajante Sattvika Devan
Yajante Satvika Devan
Yaksharakshansi Rajasaha
Yaksha Rakshamsi Rajasaha
Pretan Bhuta Ganansanye
Pretan Bhuta Gananschanye
Yajante Tamasa Janaha.
Yajante Tamasa Janaha.
And then you can underline that shloka because he has given a clue what type of worship, which kind of people do. Ashastra vihitam goram tapyante tapojanaha. These people, he is not referring to sattvikas, they will do ghora tapas. You have heard different kind of tapas. Put fire round about you, sit in the hot fire burning around you and do the tapas. Sometimes they hang themselves up in the tree upside down and do the tapas. These are what we have heard about cruel tapas. They will do tapas like this. Ashastra vihitam goram tapyante tapojanaha. These people willing to, that's something like Ravana's tapas. If you don't come to me, I will cut my head and offer it to you. And then Shiva will appear and give some boon and get into trouble later and goes to Vishnu to solve the problem. That is what we generally listen in stories. Brahma and Vishnu are two gods who would give vara so easily. Brahma and Shiva. And then they will run to Vishnu to solve their problem, which has happened in our Bhagavata, you will see many times happening. So these people, Ashastra Vihitam Goram Tapyante Tapojanaha. These people will do Ashastra Vihita Tapas, Ghora Tapas, tapas to get their desire. They worship gods in very cruel way. Dambahakara samyuktaha kamaraga balanvitaha. They are filled with damba ahankara, show and ahankara, kamaraga, desires. They want this to be fulfilled. They have many desires to be fulfilled. Sattvika is not a man with any desire, purest. No desire left. But Gunati is not at Gunatita. There must be a grace of God to become a Gunatita. He can go up to the ladder of Sattva. Dambahakara samyukta kamaraga palanvita. They are covered with raga and tvesha. They are the Asuri people. I think we can recite. Ashastra vihitam goram
Ashastra Vihitam Goram
tapyante etapo jana
Tapyante Ye Tapo Janaha
dambahankara samyuktaha
Dambahankara Samyuktaha
kamaraga balanvitaha.
Kamaraga Balanvitaha
Ashastra vihitam goram
Ashastra Vihitam Goram
tapyante etapo janaha
Tapyante Ye Tapo Janaha
dambahankara samyuktaha
Damba ahankara samyuktaha.
कामरागबलान्विताः
Kamaraga balanvitaha.
कर्षयन्तः शरीरस्थं भूतग्राममचेतसम्. They are so much people, they are people with so much ego, they will not even recognize the God that is in them. They will make that spirit weaker. Mamchaivanta sharirastam. I am there in every living being, Krishna said to us many times. He is there in me and in you and in everyone. In 15th chapter he said, Sarvascha syaham hridi sannivishtaha. I am there in every living being, in their hearts. But they don't recognize that. They don't recognize that. So such people who do not recognize me in their heart, and they will make me weak, are to be considered Asuri people. They are Asuri people. They are born with Asuri Sampat. They are not Satviks. They are Rajasa and Asuri people. I think we can recite. Karshayanta Shirirastam
Karshayanta sharirastam.
Bhutagramamachetasah
Bhutagramam achetashaha.
Mamchaivanta Shirirastam
Mamchaivanta sharirastam.
Tanvidyasura Nischayan
Tan vidyasura nischayan.
Karshayanta Shirirastam
Karshayanta sharirastam.
Bhutagramamachetasah
Bhutagramam achetasaha.
Mamchaivanta Shirirastam
Mamchaivanta sharirastam.
Tanvidyasura Nischayan.
Tan vidyasura nischayan.
They are Asuri, you know him, and then he goes to the next shloka. Even food differs. Aharustupi sarvasya trivido bhavati priyaha. Yajnastapastata danaha tesham vedam imukshrun. Underline this shloka. 9 shlokas after this are an explanation of this shloka, what he has said in this shloka. Aharastupi sarvasya trivido bhavati priyaha. 3 types of food are desired by these 3 kinds of people. Food of a Satvika is different, food of a Rajasa is different, food of a Tamasa is different. Aharastupi sarvasya trivido bhavati priyaha. 3 kinds of ahara becomes interesting for them. Not only ahara, yajna tapas tata danam. Yajna, tapa, tata danam, tesham vedam imam shunu. Krishna is explaining this Shraddha in a altogether different way. Ahara, Satvika ahara is different, Rajasa ahara is different, Tamasa ahara is different. Yajna, second line, first word. Satvika yajna is different, Rajasa yajna is different, Tamasa yajna is different. Underline that word yajna in the first word of the second line. Tapas. Satvika tapas different, Rajasa tapas different, Tamasa tapas different. Tata danam. Satvika dana is different, Rajasa dana is different, Tamasa dana is different. That is to say, Tesham vedam imam shruno. Listen from me the difference between 3 kinds of food, 3 kinds of yajna, 3 kinds of tapas, 3 kinds of dana. That is to say, around 12 shlokas coming next associate with the explanation of this shloka, therefore underline it. Ahara could be Satvika, Rajasa, Tamasa, which we will take, which is Rajasa, which is Tamasa, which is Satvika. Yajna is also Satvika Yajna, Rajasa Yajna, Tamasa Yajna. He will explain in the next coming shloka. Tapas is also Satvika Tapas different, Rajasa different, Tamasa different. He will explain in detail in the next coming three shlokas. And Dana, the charity. If you give money to somebody, that also you cannot say it is just great, but you have to analyze whether it is Satvika Dana, Rajasa Dana, Tamasa Dana. Only it is great when it is Satvika in each one of them. Therefore, he has not said anything that he said I will be explaining you about food, yajna, tapa, dana in detail. So underline this shloka. Next 12 shlokas are almost told. Could be one, he merges one or two things in a single shloka. He may take two shlokas to explain one. Many shlokas to come will be an explanation of this one. I think we can recite. Aharustopi sarvasya
आहारस्त्वपि सर्वस्य
त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः
त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः
यज्ञस्तपस्तथा दानम्
यज्ञस्तपस्तथा दानं
तेषां वेदमिमं शृणु
तेषां भेदमिमं शृणु
आहारस्तुपि सर्वस्य
आहारस्त्वपि सर्वस्य
त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः
त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः
यज्ञस्तपस्तथा दानम्
यज्ञस्तपस्तथा दानं
तेषां वेदमिमं शृणु
तेषां भेदमिमं शृणु